I heard of the opium wars, the war on terrorism, the war on drugs, but have you heard about the war on coal? The Coal Wars is probably one of the most significant times in U.S. history that people don't know about and is really hidden. Roughly between 1890 and 1930, the same time as all the race wars and massacres. I'll tell you how that came about. America started this push for coal. It didn't take long for people to start striking about labor going on in coal mines because the way the NARA employers had the labor set up, they would build mining towns. One of the most significant I want to talk about today is the one in Kanawha River Valley between Virginia along the Ohio River. The Battle of Charleston in 1862 laid out the platform for this place. The way they had these mining towns set up is to where you mine, you only get like 50 cents an hour. Some places was paying 60 cents an hour. Now imagine, this the coal mining town built by the company. You work at the coal mine. You buy your food from a grocery store provided by the coal mine. You pay your bills and live in the houses provided by the coal mine, but you have to pay for all of these with that wage. These people started protesting and they was like, what the fuck is going on? This brings about the Coal Creek War because people in the mine were tired about the living conditions. It started in 1891, but it didn't get a big push to the early 1900s with the lady who was named the most dangerous woman in America by the United States government at the time. Mother Jones was so fucking dangerous, she can speak and bring the masses because she was speaking for the people in the coal mine. Mary Harris, Mother Jones, labor leader, worker, advocate, in October 1900 led a march of 2,000 women from Mikado to Coaldale to avoid a 6-week strike. Your boys went on strike because the coal miners started implementing police force basically to keep the miners working harder because the need for mining more coal was getting pushed and pushed and pushed harder. Because, you know, we kicked off the Civil War with coal mining. That was the way we really made our money. You got to understand, coal created steam and everything was steam powered, steam engines, steam this, steam that. Like shit popped off. This is where the Hatfield and McCoy thing come from because they was coal mining families. Hatfield was the motherfucking police, you understand? McCoy was the workers. One of the Hatfields got on a train, did a train by and popped two of the workers and slid back and did it again. So they was hot about this. This popped off the famous feud with the Hatfields and the McCoys. One unique thing about the Kanawha Valley region of West Virginia is one of the known homes of people called Appalachia. Appalachia people are people native to the Appalachian Mountains but have African origins. Blue Ridge Mountains, Southern and Central Appalachia, West Virginia, Eastern Kentucky, Coalfield, SWV8, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, North Georgia, and West North Carolina they're basically their home. Had their own languages. Minority are Catholic and practice folk religion like granny magic and hoodoo. Other related ethnic groups are Mugligan, Caramel Indians, Chestnut Ridge people, Black Ozarka, African Americans, and Appalachians. The Caramel Muglians, who migrated from Hill County, Ohio to Magoffin, Kentucky. The most common surnames from family were Gibson, Nicholas, Perkins. These were people of the Eastern Kentucky who were descendants from free black people in colonial Virginia. These were so-called mulatto people, or we're going to get into the name. Muglian communities' genetic and genealogy analysis indicate the family have European and African ancestry. The Brass Ankles, yes, there was a group of people that's mulatto and black people. You understand? Still niggas. Say they usually come from Angola, the Republic of Angola. That's where their ancestor come from. But we about to get deeper. The Paris Sequitum Victim is a law that was made in the 13 colonies that a baby is born of the father. If the father is free, then the baby is free, even though the mother is a slave. The Paris Sequitum Victim changed that resolution to where the father has the choice, because of chattel slavery was a thing at the time. So they didn't want a chattel slave to have the choice to be free just because the father, a free man, had intercourse with a slave at the time. So they gave it a chance, like they wanted to give it a chance, like boom, it was the father's description. If the father freeborn, he can either let the child be free, or he has the choice to sell his child or market his child out if he want to, because the mother used to be a slave. During this time, 23 Negroes from Africa was brought to the colony of Virginia, marking the beginning of chattel slavery. The Atlantic slave trade was already going on 100 years from the Portuguese, because the Portuguese was moving the boats, but the Muslims were selling them to them. This is where the term bastard child came from. You can do what you want with your bastard child. You can put him in an apprenticeship or indentured servitude. But foregoing personal property, chattels, personal property, livestock, or mobile property. You understand that? This slipper is my personal property. A human life, a slave, was the same thing as this fucking shoe in chattel slavery. Now we're going to get deeper. Related ethnic groups to the Mongolians are Lumbay, Beaver Creek Indians, Red Bones, Free People of Color, Halawi, Saponi, Brandywine people, Chestnut Ridge people, Brass Ankles, and Free Blacks. Brandywine people, they have a picture of Delonte West. What they called Caramelites first appeared in Marigold County on the 1810 census. This is when they start naming niggas whatever the fuck they wanted to, because they didn't want to say Indian, because I can't take shit from you if you Indian, because we just passed laws 5 years ago that Indians gotta have their certain places to live. They say before the American Revolution, caramel mongers can be traced to free African America in Virginia. Free African Americans were mostly mixed race children of early unions during the colonial period. Cap, watch this. Beaver Creek Indians, Lumbay, they got Kelvin Sampson, U of H coach, as a Lumbay. He's Lumbay. Hawaii Sapote Indian tribe. I'm going to keep popping them upside their head. In the Chestnut Ridge people, mixed race community concentrated in the area of northeast Philippi, Barber County, and north central West Virginia. Free Negro, free color described the legal status of an American who were not slaves. This is a free woman of color with her quadrant daughter that is 1/4 Negro. As you can see, they gonna put her white as possible. But a dumbass would have thought, oh, this is a rich girl with her maid or some shit like that, some dumbass shit. Her religion was something called the Holiness Movement. Is a Christian movement that emerged chiefly with 19th century Methodism, and to lesser extended influence other traditions as Quakerism, anti-baptism, and restorationism. Churches aligned with Holiness Movement teach that the life of a born-again Christian should be free of sin. The Holiness Movement just defined that once you give up, you are filled with love and the grace of God, basically. This like the start of Baptist church. Now we get to Black Ozarkians. Black Ozarkians were known to have slaves. All they slaves, documented 32,000 slaves, had a increased population of mulatto slaves. They was enslaving the bastard children, basically. But you know, after all the fighting, they gave people a little bit more wages, a little bit better opportunities. White America made a trade. It was either this or that. We know what was chosen. It's coal miners with slave labor or prison labor. Then they start killing us off in the mines.